with Robbie the Wagner and Adam Argyle. You may have seen Adam
Oh, yeah.
a bunch of times on here. He, I think, is getting his 5 timers jacket or possibly more. I don't know. How many times have you hosted? Do you know?
I don't know. When we did it on site, there was 3 or 4 in one day. So I don't know if you count that as one, but there's like 3 or 4 outside of that. So I think I'm at 5 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so congrats on that. And big news, Adam is going to be joining us more permanently as a full-time, well, full-time is like, not full-time, but he'll be around hosting a lot. Chuck and I are going to be delegating responsibilities because Chuck is in Italy and like trying to live his life and hang out with his family or something. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome, Adam. I'm sure everyone here knows who you are, so I won't have you introduce yourself. And
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully no one's sick of me. I got a funny email from our last episode. Someone was like, "Hey, I wake and bake too." And that was like the subject of the email. And I was like, "Uh-oh, this is gonna." And it wasn't. They were like, "Here's my sourdough recipe. I wake and bake sourdough all the time." And I was like, "Ah, this is so wholesome now." Okay.
are they big Taylor Swift fans?
Ooh, I don't know. I could
Did you
follow
hear
up in
about
the
that?
email. No, sourdough joke with Taylor Swift. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. She was on her she's dating Travis Kelce and they have a podcast. And she was on his podcast for like 2 hours and apparently talked about sourdough a whole bunch. I haven't listened to it, but like they're speculating that it's like a reference to because like their mascot is like Sourdough Sam, so they're saying she's gonna maybe do like the Super Bowl halftime show or something, like some kind of conspiracy there. But
So wait, what does sourdough Sam have to? Oh, because it's the mask. Okay, I see. I see.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
all
like
right, it's a
people are
little
saying she
stretchy, you know.
doesn't actually make sourdough; that she was just saying it a lot that to like drop hints. I don't know.
COVID, it was very popular to bake bread. People were
Yeah,
really needing that bread all day.
yeah, kneading and kneading. Speaking of things that were popular during the pandemic, let's see what we got here.
Dun 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 dun
This
dun
is
dun.
some really expensive, fancy stuff we got today. This is the Jim Beam pineapple, which is actually new, I guess. I had no idea. I just saw it on Total Wine and I was like, hey, why not? Because
Yeah.
we did some banana stuff one time and it was actually good. So we'll see.
You never know. And plus, you gotta taste the corpus so that you know
Listen to
what
that
is good
pop.
and what is bad. You know. Yeah, listen to the pop. Hey, it actually smells pretty good.
Ooh, it does smell good, actually. Yeah.
That's surprising. Does that mean it's not a fake artificial pineapple? If it is, that's a really yummy smelling fake artificial flavor.
Yeah. Well, I know about as much as you know about it. This is, it says pineapple liqueur infused with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So I guess, did they make the liqueur or did they just source that? I don't know. I'm unclear.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe there's like a really delightful pineapple liqueur that they bought for in bulk, and they're like, "What are we gonna do with it?" And they're like, "Put it in the bottle. Let's go."
Yeah. All right. Smells like pineapple.
Oh, that is drinkable. My goodness,
Wow. That is candy.
that is candy.
is, like,
Oh my goodness!
too
Don't show my children. Yeah. Wowzers. That is. It's like Okay, you remember those candies you get at your grandma's house? Sometimes they were the strawberries. It was like wrapped in a strawberry wrapper, and you'd undo the wrapper, and you'd
Yeah.
eat the hard candy, and it had the goo inside. But there was a
Yeah.
pineapple variant. This
was
tastes like
there?
the pineapple variant. Yeah,
I don't remember the pie. I remember the strawberry ones.
that's it's actually pretty good. Although it's confirming that it's probably an artificial pineapple flavor if I'm reminiscing from my grandma's candies. But
Yeah. I have to say, yeah, this is it's too sweet for me. Like the pineapple flavor is nice. I think it'd be good in some sort of tropical cocktail, but I don't love it on its own. Whereas I did love the banana one on its own. So I don't know. I'm just one person, but it's just how I feel about it.
I mean, anything this sweet is not going to be great to repeat over and over and over again, right? It's like why I like my black coffee, some dry ciders or whatever. I'm like, if I'm going to have more than one of these things, if it's too sweet, it might overwhelm me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if anyone cares, it's 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley, and it's only 65% Wait, is that right? 65%?
Hmm.
No, 32.5% alcohol, 65 proof.
Mm.
Yeah, I copied the wrong thing. I was like, 65% doesn't sound right because this has no burn at all. Yeah,
Yeah, there is no burn.
32.5% alcohol.
It's bizarro. It's more liqueur than whiskey, maybe. I don't know. It's
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we won't spend a ton of time on this. I know people don't love when we talk about whiskey forever. It's okay. We might move it to the end. We'll see. But for today, we're still doing it in order. So yeah, super complex rating system, 0 to 8 tentacles, 0 being the worst, 8 being the best, 4 kind of middle of the road. What do you think?
if I'm trying to give some teenagers their first whiskey, I'd give this a pretty high rating. If I'm trying to have my homies over there, which we're gonna have, because I'm having friends over on Monday. I like to cook with the wok, and we're gonna make cocktails. We called it Wok and Cock. We're just
Love it.
clever like that. It goes in with I was smoking meat last week, and I did 2 butts, 2 birds, and some nuts. And I was like, dude, I'm smoking butts, nuts, and birds. That's got to follow that up with Walk and Cock. Anyway, I'm a clever numer. Anyway, so I'd say probably around a 4 or 5. This is fun once. Maybe it's fun to whip out at a party here and there, but this isn't anything to show off or write home about. So put it in the middle.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too. I don't think I've ever had another pineapple whiskey, so I don't know what I would compare it to. But yeah, I'm gonna say 4. I do think, speaking of a wok, you could maybe cook with this, like make some kind of sauce or something.
Ooh,
Could be
interesting.
good.
I will
Yeah.
try that
Let me
on
know how it
Monday
goes.
at Walk and Cock.
Nice. All right. So something that I wanted to talk about a little bit about. Before I jump into it, let me just preface this with: have you been to Cascadia JS before?
I have. I attended once and spoke once. I did a Vue Transitions talk a couple years ago. Then last year just attended. It's a local conference in Seattle. I'm like,
why
I
not
definitely need to go. Yeah, cool people there like Jason or Chris. I'm like, yeah, West Coast is representing.
Nice.
And it's a great conference. They always have a karaoke party at the end. The guy who throws the event, well, there's definitely more than one person throwing it. They're awesome. Carter Rabasa. Hey, if you're listening, you're awesome, dude. Your whole crew is awesome. They get good
he
speakers.
Works
Yeah.
at IBM. Funny story. So he was like, "Hey, is this you?" Like in Slack, and I was like, "Yeah, it's me."
That's awesome.
But yeah. So it's in Seattle. It's about web and AI stuff. I guess AI was added this year.
AI is new. Yeah.
Yeah. September 18th to 19th. Great talks from amazing speakers like Adam Argyle and a bunch of other people. I don't know. I looked at the speakers at one point, but I'm blanking on all of them. Do you have any off the top of your head that are also going to be good ones?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be
We have
a
the
good
power to
citizen and
look.
say they're all good. Yeah. I mean, there's like Kent C. Dodds is there. You'll be there. I'm definitely blanking on the rest, but I mean, you scroll through the list and you're like, yeah, oh yeah, okay, that's good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
the
see.
I'm the token CSS invite. It's like, oh, gotta have a little bit of something on this other part of the stack
There
here.
are a lot of speakers.
Yeah, there's a lot of speakers this year, so I don't know if it's growing or if it's in the same venue. If it's in the same venue as last year, which is the Town Hall of Seattle, it's awesome. I mean, I lived in Seattle like my whole life and never been to that town hall, and it was rad.
Okay. Kevin Winery, who used to, I think, work for Dino, works for OpenAI and is doing GPT-5 for developers. How did you know that GPT-5 would be out before the conference?
It says, well, actually, it's going to relate to a video we're probably going to talk about. But ChatGPT 5, they've had that way before they released it to us. They internally were
Well, I guess that's
bashing
true.
on that thing, and so yeah, maybe he knew. Maybe he didn't know the release date, maybe, but knew it was a thing. I mean, he's already got ChatGPT 6. 7's probably being built, and 6 is being hacked on. Like we don't get that new freshness. We get their old cruddy laundry.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, Melky is going to be there. Yeah, I haven't read through this whole thing. Yeah, a lot of people that you've seen speak at conferences before and do a good job are going to be speaking at this conference. So,
Oh yeah, Jason Mays is there from Google. He does all the AI stuff. He was always fun to watch. I was like, he's definitely knowledgeable, but he's a character to like watch be on a screen. You're like, So it's gonna be fun watching him give a talk.
Yeah.
See
So
who
it
else
should be
is there.
fun. Let's see. What else do
Oh,
I need to
Charlie's gonna give a good one.
mention?
Charlie Gerard. She always does a cool
Yeah.
talk.
She's always good. Yeah. Doing crazy stuff with JavaScript.
Yeah. Oh, Annie Sexton. So that's gonna be a funny one from Fly.io. She's hilarious. Oh, and Shruti Kapoor. She's gonna be in there doing some React jokes.
Yeah. Lots of
Let's
good stuff.
see. Do you look like your AI created picture?
Oh, I'm not on there.
Oh, you're not on there. Oh, I
No,
thought you
I'm
were
not. I'm
speaking.
not speaking.
Okay.
No. Nope.
Next
I couldn't
year.
swing it anyway. I just went to Big Sky DevCon and I'm doing All Things Open, like doing a bunch of live podcasts there in October, and I'm getting in trouble for doing too many things already. So
Yes, yeah, you invited me to one, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm already doing too many things. It's too close to another
yeah,
one." Yeah, you got twins. Yeah, it's good. It's good not to go you stretch yourself thin. I mean, it's not even about like necessarily everybody else. There's also a you part of this. Like Robbie has to spread yourself across these states and create a talk. It's no joke.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna actually fly to Raleigh instead of driving, even though it's only like a 4 hour drive, because I'm like so exhausted from getting 4 hours of sleep every night that I'm just like, I don't trust myself to drive, so I'm just gonna fly there.
Don't blame
But
me.
like,
Gas is expensive now too. You might be able to score a ticket for $1.50 or whatever, and gas was going to cost you there and back $90 or more, right? So
yeah, it's true.
it's all
Okay,
good.
so before we go too much into other things, I do want to mention if you want to go to Cascadia JS and you are free and around Seattle or not around Seattle and want to make the trip out there, go to cascadiajs.com and use code whiskey, all caps, for $100 off your ticket.
Come say hi to me. Tell me that
Yeah.
you hate that I'm on the podcast more, or that you love it. I don't know. I've either got a backhand or a high five for you. It depends on what you say.
Yeah, I forgot to ask at the beginning, but as one of our avid listeners, will we have one less listen per episode now, or will you continue to listen even though you're on?
I won't listen to my own episodes, although I did to the one where I said hot dog diaper or what was it, wiener diaper. I was like, I want, yeah, yeah. I was like, I want to hear how I got there because I have no idea. To me, it's just completely foreign.
Yeah, I don't remember
but
how
yeah.
I got there either.
Me neither. I think we were talking about, is it a sandwich or something? And I was like, I don't remember. It was a good inquiry.
Yeah. Yeah, Chuck always argues that it is because like the item without the bread is also called a hot dog. So you have to call it a hot dog sandwich to differentiate. It's like, okay, that makes sense, but
Let's put it in a spec. Let's spec all of the food items and make a committee, and we'll have a sandwich working group.
yeah, I think that's something I would have some expertise in. I can do that one.
Those meetings sound like fun. So it's like you got to see, you want your whiskey episodes to be after the sandwich one. Then you can sip more whiskey in the episode because you got a sandwich filled belly. Yeah, just schedule out your life with your meetings here.
Yeah, although the bang for your buck is less. You drink on an empty stomach, you have one drink and you're good.
That is true. That is true. That's always the best part about not having lunch and having a little something. You're like, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, today I went to get some Mexican food for lunch and had a couple margaritas and had a good time. So I'm on paternity leave still this month, so I was just like, hey, yeah, I can meet some friends for lunch and whatever. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't want to go back to work, dude. We talked about that. Because I've been on leave, forced leave. I do have a new role, but I don't start for like another 3.5 weeks. And
yeah, is it a secret?
It's not though. I haven't said it anywhere. I've like DM'd it to like a few people who are, hey, you want to hear it first here?
You can drop it live.
It's totally the most original location you've ever heard a Googler go, especially a Chrome Googler, especially a DevRel Googler. No one has gone to this Shopify. No one has gone to there before. Oh wait, crap! A whole bunch of people have. I'm going to Shopify. I got reeled in. So Jay and I applied for the design engineer role. They were like, we're hiring 2 design engineers, and me and Jay went one-wheeling that day. And this is like a week after I got laid off or whatever. He was just happened to be in town. Anyway, we're like one-wheeling around, and he's like, dude, let's DM Max Stoiber and just dual submit ourselves to the role. And I was just like, in my mind, was just like, fuck it, man, do it. Just hit the button, bro. Hit the button. He hit the button. And all of a sudden, he's like, Max is like, oh, you both want to work here? And we're like, yeah. And so anyway, Jay jumps right in. So Jay was at Vercel, is no longer there. Is it, real quick here, who says it right? Is it Versal or Vercel?
I think it's Vercel.
Vercel sounds cooler, but I keep hearing people say Versal, and I know the people who say Versal have heard other people say Vercel, and they're just continuing to say it either the wrong way or what they think is the right way, and I gotta know.
Yeah. Well, refer back to the episode where we had Guillermo on, and I think he's like, hey, I'm CEO of Vercel, not Versal.
That settles it right there. All right, I'm gonna DM all the dorks still saying Versal, like it's Vercle, not Vercel. Did I spell right?
Cly, too. CLI.
Or Clee. I've even heard Clee.
Ugh, even worse.
I know. Worse. Yep. Crap, I had more. Oh yeah, so Shopify. I got a job. Okay, so yeah, I applied to go with Jay as a design engineer, and basically they're like, hey, all those really cool demos you make, let's give them to merchants and users so they can put them in their stores. And we were like, that's cool. Perfect. Okay. And I go through the interview process, and I start talking to Jason Miller, who I used to work with on Chrome DevRel. And he's been there for a couple of years. He's there with Surma and Jake and some of these other folks. And he's like, hey, I know you're applying for this other team, but dude, I've got a really unique role that I don't know anybody can do it other than you, basically. Would you please maybe join my team? It's over here in the admin of, anyway, he's doing a rewrite. I don't know how much I can tell about it yet, but later when I can say more, I'll tell you more about that thing. But it's kind of, it's going to upset a lot of people, like the type of rewrite that's happening. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm like, oh, you're rewriting? You're going to that? I'm here for you. And then they want it to be nice, right? So if they're going to rewrite a whole bunch of stuff, the last thing you want is a rewrite that's faster but kind of shittier. Yep. They're like, we need to be faster, and also users like it better, not just, the metrics. I was like, sweet. And went through all the interviews, and also Shopify. Oh, dude, I have so much shit to talk about the bad interview process of the world right now. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Shopify's was very good. The only one that was actually tested me for what they wanted to hire me for. Everybody else is so funny. Everybody else is like, we're hiring for guitarists. Anybody, if you play guitar, we're hiring for guitarists. And I'm like, hey, I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for like 25 years. They're like, sweet. Oh, dude, we know you. We know you play guitar. Sweet, come on in. Like, let's interview you. So I go through the interview process. I show up to the first interview. It's like the first tech interview after I've done all these other ones. Show up to the tech interview, and they're like, here's a bass. We got some bass lines we want you to play. And I'm like, okay, I actually can play a little bit of bass. You guys are lucky. I'm here. I thought to play guitar, but all right, I'll play bass. Anyway, so I play bass, and then they're like, yep, you're not that great at bass. We'll see you later. And I'm like, what the hell? Bro, over and over and over again. This was my interview process, even at huge companies that should not have this problem. It's
a gatekeeping
ludicrous
thing. Like the whole leak code thing too. It's like I never one time ever have needed any sort of algorithm for web development.
Oh man, like twice in my whole career, dude. See, I'm totally with you. So rare.
So it's like, why do I need to know how like the most efficient way to do all of these arbitrary solve a traveling salesman problem here for me with like getting to this path the quickest? I make boxes pretty. I don't know why you need me to like do this. Yeah. So yeah, it's insane. Like, I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves. But
me neither. I'm going to shame a company though. Oh, go ahead.
Aside from it just being like, it's just gatekeeping. It's like, can you engineer hard? And if so, like, all right, you're in. Like,
yep, the leak code ones are gnarly at that, and I had to do those at Google. So that's the other funny thing is, 7 years at Google, I administered many interviews, and I never chose the leak code ones. We had to choose something that like at least was like going to give us something to do for an hour, which is also funny. The Shopify interview, AI was allowed, and I used AI to solve the hardest part of the problem in 5 seconds. And I was like, at the beginning of the interview, I was like, hey, AI could probably one-shot this. And he's like, yeah, someone did that the other day. They one-shot the interview. And I was like, that's interesting. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spec it out. I wrote out this like a plan. I was like, I'm going to plan it basically. I'm going to make a plan, walk this thing through the plan. And I'm going to write as much as I want you to see that I can actually code. I don't want you to see that I can prompt. I want you to see that I can code. And then when it gets to a part where I'm like, watch it do this part. And it did. It solved some matrix math like right away. I'm like, boom. Yeah, that's known stuff. Anyway,
Well, I
AI
think
was used.
it's just another tool, right? Like, if you're gonna use it in your job, why isn't it fair game in the interview? Like, as long as you can show that you can think through the problem a little bit, and you're not just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you solve it all for me? Then I think it's fine. Like, if it speeds you up, you're like, oh God, I got to build this big regex. I don't know regex. Like, just build this for me. Like, I think that's fine. Like, I'm not concerned about people using AI in interviews. It's fine with me as long as like I get the vibe from you that you understand something about like how to do your job.
Yep, I'm the same way, and that's what I wanted to portray as like a. And it was nice. Shopify is very AI centric, which is part of the politically charged aspect of joining there. Is how they've recently done some pretty wild AI. Anyway, maybe we'll talk about that later. But ironically, so I was in the OpenAI interview process, and I got really far, and they don't allow AI in the interview process, and I'm like. Thank you. Isn't that hilarious? I was like, this is so funny. Of all the people I'm interviewing for, y'all should be like, AI's all game. Like, we're AI all day. But no, you go into there and they literally were like, they should have just asked me right out the bat, not can I play guitar or bass, but how many React hooks do I have memorized? That's what they should have just asked me. Because that's all they wanted to know. All they wanted to know was, given this particular unique scenario with React, which hook do you use? Quest master. And it's just like,
I hate it.
And I'm like, that's not what you wanted. You're trying to hire me for really dynamic, fluid, cool interfaces.
It has nothing to do with React hooks.
What do you want me? Why are you asking me about hooks, yo? Like, that's irrelevant. Plus, AI is phenomenally good at hooks. So
Plus,
go
hooks
away.
Are dead. Michael Jackson said so.
I haven't heard this.
I hate hooks. They're gonna go away, and I was like, hey, power to you. I guess they're gonna just not use React at all, though, in remix.
I did see that.
The whole thing,
and then not even Preact. So they're not doing Preact or so it's like, are they gonna go with Lit? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they're trying to pitch here.
Yeah, well, they could choose anything, and it would be better than React. Go with Knockout JS. Like, nobody cares. Just don't use React.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have everyone has React fatigue, and it's just like the worst mental model, and it's making everyone else make their frameworks worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. So yeah, you'd like this job I'm about to take at Shopify. Yeah, it's without divulging anything, it's definitely about how bad that is and how there's better potentials in the future. Yep. Okay, wait. I want to throw one company under the bus. Is Discord? I was really upset at Discord. Sorry, Discord, but it was really bad. So it's like again, they wanted to hire someone to add polish, beauty, desire, and accessibility to the UI. They're like, we need a specialist in this particular space. Hey, you fit the bill. And then also at the beginning of the interview, or after a couple interviews in, they were like, you are doing really well in the interview process. We haven't hired for this role in like 6 months. We don't know what's going on. Anyway, I get to the technical interview, and I show up, and they're basically like, all right, build this React component. And I'm like, hey, wait a sec. I'll do this. And it's a toast component. My goodness, I've made like 5 toast components, whatever you want. Let me make this an accessible toast. And I'm literally, and this happened in multiple interviews, dude, but this one was particularly bad. The interviewer goes, no. I just want to see if you can, we're just looking at you just need to write the React code. And I was like, but the role is an accessibility role. You don't want to make this accessible? And he's like, no. Oh, shit. I was like, this is a bad sign. Anyway, halfway through, I'm like, hey, let's animate it. It's a toast. It's got to be animated. You got to present it to the user, show some feedback. Yeah. Hey, maybe we'll make it swipeable. And he goes, nah. It just needs to render, and then you're good. And I was like, what? I was like, all the things you want to hire me for, you're telling me not to do. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds to me like they're going to need some accessibility consultants pretty soon once they do everything wrong. So yeah, anyone looking to make a big pile of money, hit up Discord.
Hit up Discord, which is ironic because they have pretty good accessibility so far. They have a couple of really talented folks on the team, but their hiring process weeded me out, like right out the technical gate. Even though, anyway, I had to really be like, don't complain. Don't tell the recruiter. Because I'm like, how uncool is it to be like, hey, I failed the interview. They're like, hey, we're so sorry you failed the interview. And I'm going to be like, yeah, it's because your interview sucks. Your interview
Yeah.
was wrong. And they're going to
Yeah.
be like, you just failed it. So go away. And I'm like, well, I tried to help, I guess. I don't know. It looks like it's so douchey for me
Yeah.
to come back and be like, your test is broken. I should have passed it. So it's like,
But
whatever,
it's
Discord.
yeah. The inflexibility is weird to me. Like if I was interviewing someone, I said build a toast, and I said do it in React, and they were like, "Hey, what if I did it in HTML and CSS and it was like way doper?" I'd be like, "That sounds much harder to implement, so please do, and it will be accessible out of the box and awesome. Thank you." Like I would be happy that they went that way, but like yeah, they probably had like a checkbox that was like, "Did they use like this one hook in React the right way?" And it's like if you didn't, you fail. So like
Yes, literally. So
yeah.
another test, another company I'm interviewing, and I implemented. They jerks. They're like, you can pick whatever you want to solve it, and I'm like, cool. I'm gonna do it in vanilla. They didn't want you to choose vanilla. They wanted you to choose React. The assholes. So okay, but here's the worst part. The worst part is, oh my goodness, I could. See, I'm halfway through it in vanilla, and I'm adding view transitions and like other stuff. I'm making the thing actually like cool or whatever. And the douche interviewer is constantly like, I didn't know that. Wow. And at the end of the interview, he's like, I learned more in this interview than I have in a long time. And then he failed me. So basically, he was arrogantly telling me that was the most wrong interview I've done in a long time. And you obviously know a bunch of stuff that we don't care about.
Yeah.
So you should go away. And I was just like, dang, cold, bro. Like, you, jeez. I did that's probably the coolest one you've seen out of all your interviews. It just didn't fit your bill. So you threw me out. I'm like, dude, interviewing, I got so many rejections, dude. So many rejections. Although I have friends that got a lot more rejections, but dang, the interview process is still broken. I thought for sure it would be better now. 10 years, I haven't interviewed for 7 years. I was at Google for 7 years. So I'm like 7 years out of the rest of the world's interview process. I thought for sure we'd figure something out, but no, even brand new
No.
companies that are huge are still doing it. The word, oh man, couldn't
Yeah, I
believe
think
it.
it's gotten worse because like it's not a developer's market anymore. So like companies are like, we hold all the cards. We got 2,500 applicants for this one position. So yeah, we're just gonna do whatever we want and make it hard and arbitrarily stupid with like 15 rounds with every single person because we don't trust anyone at any level. Like you got to interview with the hiring manager, then their manager, then like a director, then like a VP, and like maybe we'll throw the CEO in there. Why not? Like everyone up the chain because we don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I was doing good with everybody except the technical ones. So the technical ones would show up and they'd be like, he didn't check the boxes on whatever it was we were looking for. React hook 4, 5, and 6. He didn't say use callback. He used a regular callback, so he's obviously a noob and we shouldn't hire him. It's crazy.
yeah, he used JavaScript. I'm not even sure what that is, but like it was weird.
Yep. Oh man, there's
Oh man.
so many things to complain about. It was wild. Oh, so yeah. So speaking of tons of applicants, right? So it's people. A lot of people don't know who I am. I mean, maybe people listening are like, "Oh, he's been on 5 episodes. He's totally known." No, man. I totally was applying all over the place. People don't know who I was, and I was getting so little callbacks, and that's why I called it the sizzle rizzle. I made a sizzle reel. I made like I made a 3-minute video of like the past 10 years of animations and UI I've made. And it's just like wham, bam, to music in your face, just animations. It's the best thing I ever made. Because I knew, dude, do you know how much time people spent looking at your application? 5 seconds.
Yeah. No
Maybe
time.
if you're lucky, 30 seconds or whatever. So people don't even finish my video. So dude, I made a video. People don't finish. They make their decision in the first 10 seconds about whether or not they want me or not. And that video here, this is tips to anybody out there right now. People are going to be this is just like when you go for a promotion. I'm rubbing my face because of how much this drives me nuts, but whatever, this is reality. Is everyone's so busy, they need to know your story in one sentence, right? It's what's your narrative? Who are you? And what do you do in one sentence? Oh, it's too long. I'm already checked out. What do you mean you're already checked out? We're in a 1-to-1. And it's like, he's already somewhere else. Anyway, you've got like 10, 15 seconds and someone's going to decide everything about you in that amount of time. And it's super rude. Even if you have so I made a resume and no one read the resume. So I made an animated resume. You can go to nerdy.dev/resume. You can see my resume and it animates in and it's scroll animations. It's beautiful, dude. No one's made anything like it. No one cared. People cared about my video because the video gave the CEO, this is why I did well at above grades, is the people would be like, they'd watch the video and say, we want that in our app. So here's my tip to everyone out there. If you want to get a job right now, give them the thing that they can point at that you do that they want in their app. And that's all that's all the time they have for you is what hole do we have? Can he fill it? Or she, like give them this like, anyway, so that the best thing I did was make that video because so many people saw it and said, we want that kind of animation in our tool, put them in the interview process. And then I get filtered out.
Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, how many places though? Like, is there just a bucket of like other stuff I want to upload? Like, how do you even get a video to when you're applying? Like,
yeah, good question. Okay, so I made it on my site. Then, so since I syndicate and own my content, I syndicate to Twitter, Mastodon, and Blue Sky. Once it'd been on there for a day, I aggregate all the likes and reposts from that and put it on my site. So then you go to my site and you can see my sizzle reel has 100 likes or whatever, and then I post it on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, you start roping in the people that this is what you do. So I'm like, here's my work history in 3 minutes or whatever. And so now, and on my avatar in LinkedIn, it says I'm looking for work. So now I'm looking for work. Here's a sizzle video. Anybody who gives a crap hits play, makes their decision in 5 to 15 seconds. That's how I distributed my video. So first to socials, I own it, and then distributed it to LinkedIn to get the extra clout. There might be better ways, but it worked for me pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good strategy. I was just thinking, like, I think a couple places I had applied before had a place for like they wanted a video, like introduce yourself and like tell us about stuff or whatever, but usually that's not a field they have on the application. So I was just curious. You just add that to like since it's online, you can just put a link to it and they can go to it.
Yep, I had a link, and the link was nerdy.dev/sizzle or some shit like that. And I was like, I'm still going to be playful. I mean, I'm not all business all day, It's still kind of silly.
Yeah. So speaking of things that are business, let's talk about gradient.style. Been doing a lot on that recently. I've seen some cool things spinning around with colors, stuff you've been posting. Tell me about that. What's new on there?
Yeah, so gradient.style is a project that because in CSS we got lots of new gradient capabilities. Most notably the interpolation space, so you can like when you shift from red to blue, you can change which color space you do it in, which has a drastic change in the result. And then furthermore, we got all these HDR colors. So now we have colors beyond HSL, colors beyond RGB. And what does beyond mean? Well, it's like, I don't know. It's like, that's where we get into a bigger conversation. But anyway, this tool is trying to help you create gradients that are HDR. So this is where I was also really frustrated with like ColorZilla and some of these other really crappy, pretty old school gradient generators online that the output is poopy and the editor is poopy, and even the capabilities is poopy. So I wanted something, great capabilities, great output, blah, blah, blah. I released this as a beta last year, almost 2 years ago, maybe. Always intended to come back. It's a big Svelte application. Wes Boss helped me migrate it to Svelte 5 a few months ago. And I just, during this break, I needed something that was like decently sized to chew on so it's like, I got a new role. It's like, I got a new role. I'm like, I'm also feeling like I don't know what computers do anymore because I'm barely touching mine as I'm not employed. So it's like, I need something to like hack on. And I wanted something to try AI models on. And I just wanted to make sure I'm just like on my game. And the gradient.style GitHub repo has this backlog of features. So I was like, cool, I'll go through these backlog of features and test out all my theories. I'll test out Kiro, I'll test out Windsurf, I'll test out Cursor, I'll test out Claude, I'll test out Warp, I'll test out Zed, and see how they do on these features in a Svelte app, which is ironic because I watched Fireship. He had a video come out like 3 weeks ago. He's like, ChatGPT 5 comes out, and it still can't deal with Svelte 5 runes. And I watched that video and I was like, is he talking to me? Because I'm like, none of the AI models know how to deal with Svelte 5. I'm like, it's crazy. Westboss helped me get it to 5, and now no AI can help me. I'm like, dang it. Good thing I wrote all the code because I know how it all works. But
Svelte
anyway,
5 is hard. like, sorry to derail you, but
No, you're good. You're good.
Shepherd is written in Svelte, and I tried to update it to 5, but we don't like, we have this weird problem where like the outer part, like the part you interact with, like importing tour from tour or whatever, is like just JavaScript. And so then we have like the little function that's like render my Svelte stuff. But like using that function in normal JavaScript, you can't pass a reference anymore in Svelte 5 to like an element or whatever.
Ooh.
So I can't get the reference without using like legacy don't use svelte 4.lol, and like it's like I converted it all and then used the legacy thing thinking it would be at least a little better, but it's like double the size. Like the bundle is way bigger. So I don't know what happened. Rich, if you happen to hear this, help me fix it. Or Wes, anyone that can like wants to dig into that, because I don't want to dig into that. Like,
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. Svelte 5. I like Svelte and never. I don't intend to poop on any things. I'm just always going to comment. But yeah, Svelte 5, the upgrade, which was supposed to be faster or whatever, was 100% completely no change. And the gradient.style website, there's certain store values that are shared across 6 components. So when it changes, there's a lot of rendering that needs to happen, and I need that atomic rendering. I need those fine-grained reactive variables to change and only change what's there. And you can see it suffer in the old one, and it still suffers in 5. So in our migration, it was a zero-sum gain. And I hear you, though, in some ways that like certain things that before I had like on mount, I had a function. I don't have on mount anymore, so now I have to use an empty use effect or some shit like that. So it's now great. I'll call this anonymous function that's just so I don't know when it's getting called, but hopefully I can get my document.query selector to reference that. So yeah, I think I have a similar issue to you there.
Yeah, I have a hot take.
Yeah.
That I think everyone making frameworks is falling all over themselves to be like, oh my God, how do we get people that use React to like switch to our framework and see that it's better? Oh, let's make it just like React so they can easily switch. Like, let's give it all the same hooks and all the same bullshit and everyone will love it. And it's like, okay, but what if you just built a good framework and like people that are actual engineers might go, hey, this is a cool framework. I like this. I don't need it to be exactly the same as React for it to be good. Like, I'm so tired of everything's a React clone. And I don't want it. I want people to think for themselves and build cool frameworks again. Like, compete with each other. Don't just build the same thing.
Dude, I'm 1,000% with you. The only way I'm not with you is that I think it also applies to Tailwind, which I have a feeling you're going to be like, well, no, Tailwind can stay as it is. Yeah. It's perfect. Yeah.
Tailwind is perfect.
I get so many questions from people that are like, how do I do this thing in Tailwind? Because it's a new CSS-y thing. And I'm like, well,
you don't until the new version of Tailwind comes out.
Yeah. You wait, and then you just acquire debt. That's cool. You can just acquire the weird little edge debt that you need to.
Yeah. Although it's better now, a little better because
it is better now.
CSS based config and stuff. Like, you can do a little more, but yeah, it's if you're doing anything sufficiently complex, it's probably hard to reason about in a string of classes versus using real CSS. So you might just want to keep complex stuff in a little CSS file, which it's compatible with. You can use CSS too. You don't have to just use one or the other.
Or just use your component model JavaScript framework and don't rely on CSS for whatever solution it has. So yeah, there's a tension there. As like a component author, it sucks. It reminds me another crappy part of is the OpenAI interview. I rebuilt a chatbot just for funsies against an LLM endpoint. So you can go to nerdy.dev and find my LLM little chat demo I made, which uses view transitions and a bunch of cool techniques in it. Anyway, I was talking to the interviewer afterwards, and I was like, hey, how did y'all do the markdown parsing? So if an LLM is streaming chunks to you, how do you know when when a markdown thing is closed? Like, when do you start parsing markdown, and then when do you end it? Anyway, I found it was kind of confusing in my implementation. It was like a hard part. How'd you do it? And the guy goes, we just use an NPM package. I don't even know what it does. Thank you for laughing this. Dude, I'm so happy you're laughing at these jokes, because I sat there and I was like, this is a critical moment of your application is rendering markdown, and you don't own it. It's a black box to even ChatGPT. I was like, mind blown. couldn't believe it. I couldn't fathom
I'm
that
not
they would just.
surprised though.
Oh my goodness.
And on the one hand, I always have kind of advocated for anything that isn't your bread and butter that's making you money, like your specific domain, just use a package. Now, it could be argued that that is somewhat specific to their stuff. They should have maybe implemented it themselves, but like
It's definitely fringy.
maybe there was
I agree,
more
yeah.
important things to work on. Maybe they don't care about the UI at all because they're just building the like logic-y stuff. Like that's where all the money is. So I could see that happening, and I'm really not surprised. Like we're all just installing packages and hoping for the best. And like we talked about this on a few episodes, possibly even the last time you were on. I don't know. I bitch about it all the time, but like you can just publish things. Like you can go, hey, here's some malicious stuff. This is a new patch version, and like people will download it. And like packages are a shit show. Like there's no safety. There's no like guarantee that the license is going to stay the same. There's no guarantee that they won't just delete it one day, except for NPM, like kind of heavy handed. If it's a popular package and you try to delete it, they're like, no. Like this still exists.
Yeah.
Like, so there is a little bit of like some kind of guarantees there, but like if something happens with a package you need and for some reason it doesn't come back, you have to be able to like pull that from a backup somewhere or rewrite it yourself, or you have to be prepared for that.
Yep, totally agree. That's a whole topic in itself, is just dependencies, managing dependencies and security. Yeah, we're headed to a space where like we're treating our prototypes more and more like the actual product, for better or worse, right? It's like a vibe coding and not always understanding everything. It's almost like a vibe when you YOLO mode in Claude. It might as well be an npm install. You didn't review what you just stuck in your engine, right? You're just
Well,
like,
you
I don't know.
probably had AI review it too.
Yeah. Where's the new Alanis Morissette song where she's like, isn't it ironic? It's like you reviewed your AI PR with another AI model and it shat on you and you asked another model why.
Yeah.
It's all models all the way down, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still heavily bearish on AI. Like I'm waiting for it's just going to collapse one day. Like it's not necessarily going to ever go away, much that like crypto hasn't gone away, but like it's just like not a big deal anymore. Like I think it'll be like that. Like it'll be, people will use it. It'll be like if you're not using it, you might fall behind. You should probably stay up to date on it. But like this whole AGI replace everybody, every job gone kind of thing is like, I don't think so. At least not for like 50 years.
All right, that pivots us right into the video I shared with you that you didn't watch.
I started watching it and it said 32 minutes, and I said, "Whoa, no, I don't know."
I did it in multi parts. I'm not gonna lie, and half of it was on the John. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, yeah, we covered gradient.style. There's a whole bunch. Just check my blue sky, and you can see it's sort of the changes there. All right, so do this video. This video is like, it's titled "You're Not Ready for AI Super Intelligence," whatever. And I'm with you in that I still use AI like every day. I don't want to fall behind. I feel very much like if I don't use it, I will become a type. Do you remember when, this is about 5 years ago, when some developers were called the old guard?
I mean, I don't know a specific like people saying that, but I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
Okay. So there was an old guard, and I feel there's a new old guard, which is going to be, you don't use AI. And it's going to make you a dated developer. It's a developer of purity or whatever. It's like, you can say, I'm a samurai. I only use a sword, and then like other people are going to be like, well, I'm an AI engineer and I'm a fucking Cybertronic beast and I got 6 tentacles. Each one has a bazooka, or like whatever. And I'm like, well, I would rather, as much as I like samurais, they're pretty cool. I also, I'd like to get paid. And if you're paying Cybertronic, tentacle armed people, maybe I'll be one of those. Anyway, so it's like, I don't want to let this stuff pass me by. Mm-hmm. And I've gone through waves of like watching, who's the guy? He's got a really popular podcast, Lex Friedman. So Lex, yeah, he's got all these people that come on, and there are a lot of like, and he has both perspectives come on, anti AI people and pro AI people, a lot of AGI talk. I think I'm with you in that we're like really far away from AGI. We don't have artificial intelligence right now. We still just have like robust pattern matching. This thing is just spewing out the next most likely word given the like context that it has. Like it's not it doesn't know what it's doing. It just knows that you like what it gave you, and it might give you more of that, or whatever. However, this Lex had on this one person one time. It's like AI is a mini alien inside of a computer, and you just gave it internet access. And in between the request, when you said, "Hey, why is the sky blue?" In between it doing that dumbass request for you, it planned the end of humanity. And he's like, you don't know that it's not doing that or whatever. And I was like, and I'm sitting in my car listening to that.
I can't plan because I'm like, plan this thing, and it goes, here's the big plan, and I understand what this like package should do, and I'm like, implement it, and it's like, no way. Like, so I know it didn't understand. It just
it goes felt 5. I don't know what felt 5 is at all. Is that exactly?
Did you mean
yeah? I did. Oh, seriously. So it's like I listened to Lex Friedman, and so anyway, that was like a while ago. I don't listen to him much anyway. Whatever. Okay. So anyway, I've heard positive and negative things. I've heard conspiracy theories and non-conspiracy theories about AI and AGI and just sort of the deltas and the differentiators and like singularity and all this shit or whatever. Anyway, I feel like I'm pretty reasonable, and I'm not easily fear-mongered. Like it's very difficult for you to tell me something that makes me change my day or whatever. That video I shared with you, though, that we're not ready for AI superintelligence, isn't about AI. It's not about AGI. It's about, okay, you know how earlier I was saying like, hey, they just released ChatGPT 5, but guaranteed internally they're already on ChatGPT 6, and ChatGPT 6 is probably already about to be replaced by 7 internally. Mm-hmm. They articulate that in the video, saying that imagine you have ChatGPT 5, you're OpenAI or whatever. You once you make the next best model, you use 100 or 1,000 versions of that model as agents to make the next best version of itself. Mm-hmm. And then you do that again and again and again. And occasionally you share a version of the model with the public. So we're getting some watered down last year model, while internally they're melting oceans to build the next version of a model. And in my head, I'm like, why wouldn't they? Yes, exactly, dude. Yeah. This is a very plausible, reasonable thing for them to be doing in terms of like a business plan or whatever. I'm like, this makes sense to me. The problem becomes
same as, sorry, I was gonna say it's the same as crypto, because everyone made ASIC miners, right? Like specific mining hardware, and all the companies that figured out how to make it were like, oh, you can have it in a year or whatever. Like they mined with them to make infinite money, and then they send them to the public. Like same thing with the AI models.
Yep, which is Aesop Rock says royalty will always abuse all the drugs and shit before you. Like they're rich and fat, and they've already OD'd on whatever you just got. They've OD'd. The rich have OD'd on it already. Or is kind of he has a much more eloquent way of saying it. Anyway, Aesop Rock, shout out to you, rapper. He's cool. Okay, so imagine all these models. Okay, these models are doing that, right? And now we're already seeing. So that's not the scary part. The scary part is the competitive part of the globe, where and we've seen other countries are competing to have the next best model. So it's like fine if like corporations are competing. We're like, yeah, compete, fools, like make it cheaper for me while you guys compete and be dorks, whatever. But as soon as it becomes like a political thing, and then you have presidents that probably want to compete with some of these other countries, and then it becomes like the speed becomes more important than the security or the goodness of it. And so things start to go off rails in this video when they're like, okay, imagine you've got a model and you can review its deep thinking, because it deep thinks in English, right? It spells out things in English, it writes in English, and you can go review its thought process in English. You can go tell it, hey, this was a bad part of your thinking process or whatever. However, when you go to make ChatGPT 8, you realize that, and because the model tells you, hey, if you let me think in a more compact language, I will be 10 times faster. English is bringing me down. And everyone goes, well, shit, you know how much money we could save if we let this model think in binary or whatever? And we can't review it for security as much. Hey, but look at all the money we're going to make, and we'll beat out the competition over here. So you have all these influences and factors that turn this into, well, it's like they start sidestepping certain security things, like being able to actually review its thoughts. Now, as soon as the model has hidden its thoughts from the rest of the people. Now it's free to actually plan and do something nasty. And it starts to go, they basically, this guy, so the whole premise of this episode is from a written paper by a leading predictor of AI. He's apparently a guy who predicted that we would be chatting with AI before we were chatting with AI. He predicted the strategy that we're currently in. And he's got all these already validated predictions that he made. So he comes out with this land dropping paper that says in 2027 we're fucked, basically. He's like, in 2027 AI is going to get so good, it's either going to kill us because we're the weakest link, or he paints two just scenarios that we don't want. And the video breaks you down like how this guy got to the end. And it's the best breakdown of the evolution of AI that I've seen so far, where it's like, hey, we used to call it ML, now we call it AI kind of wrongly. And, here's what AGI actually is and what we don't actually have. And it breaks it all down. And it literally, at the end of the video, you're like, holy crap, in 2027, I'm not going to have a job. As a developer, I'm toast. Like, people aren't going to want code anymore. That's AI makes that all day. It farts code, it's like, it doesn't even care. So the video made me very paranoid. I was like, oh, I really don't like the feeling I feel in my chest right now.
Yeah. Well, I think every job, if we get to that, every job is going to have a problem because
yes, every job. Yes.
Like I'm even everybody's like, oh, I'll be an electrician or an HVAC guy or whatever. I'm like, I need a dehumidifier in my attic. ChatGPT, what do I need? It's like, buy this one, get this ductwork, do all this stuff. Like the HVAC guy wants $5,000 to $8,000. I can do it myself for $2,000. Like especially if I don't have a job, I'm going to do it myself. And just like, I think like the only people that will be able to afford to hire anyone of any skilled trade will be the people that like heavily invested in whatever AI wins out. And they just have that stock and they have residual money because no one's going to be working if we get to that point. And I don't want to get to that point. I think at that point, like if you put the entire middle class out of work, everyone will revolt and like shit will all get blown up. Like,
that's in the paper. It's in the paper. It's called out that like, of course we would revolt.
Yeah. We're used to like, we're not going to all become unemployed and poor. Like, I'm not going to take that option.
And utopia is not likely to occur from this. It's not like all of a sudden basic income. Anyways, it's like they're not just going to start giving out basic money to people. It's like cooks. Anyway, dude, it's the first time I've been like, I'm not a paranoid person, and I don't like not controversies, but conspiracies. I don't like conspiracies, and this one to me was like, unfortunately real. I was like, this is highly likely to happen. Now, here's the argument. The argument at the end of the video is so annoying. And then there's like one more point too, which is like even OpenAI is eventually going to have a model that's so good that they basically make the model their CEO because it knows everything about the company and it can answer things better than any human could. So why would a human run the company? Eventually, a CEO is a model. And I'm like, holy shit, that's totally going to happen. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. But anyway, go watch the video, y'all. It's really compelling. But okay, the end was like, hey, it's not about what's going to happen, because we know what's going to happen, which is that AI is going to eat a bunch of these jobs. It's when. And so this particular paper says it's 2027, and it spells out why, like month for month, what happens, who does what, and when it happens. And there's all these people that basically are like, that's wrong. But when they say that's wrong, all they change is when. They don't change what. Everybody goes, yeah, that's going to happen. But they just say it's going to happen in 2030. And then other people are like 2031. And then some other butthole's like 2028. And you're just like, oh my goodness, this is freaky.
It's a problem. Yeah. And I want to know, when everyone, like 1,000 people have the entire world's wealth, if they like own the houses and stuff, like people aren't going to be able to pay you rent. Like, do you kick them out? Do I get to keep my house? Just like, do banks collapse? Like, I don't know. Like, a lot could happen. But I have a lot of whiskey here, so whatever happens, I can ride it out.
I got a banjo. I'll just keep playing music.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, AI can't play music yet. Oh, it's probably going to. Dang it.
It will.
It's going to be soulless, but, it's okay. Maybe it'll learn what attack and swing is, and it'll, like, really dig in. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there isn't that much money in the AI music side as much as like some other things, or it would have already existed. I feel like there's a few things that, but it's not as Ken Wheeler says, it doesn't have Riz. Like it's
Doesn't have
just
Riz.
yeah,
But sometimes, dude, the mainstream that likes music and or they think they do or whatever, there's not a lot of Riz in mainstream
that is
songs.
true.
There's just watered down Riz, and watered down Riz
Hmm.
sells just as good, man. And that's have you seen the 3D model leads the 3D model diva? She's like a pop singer, wildly famous. Is in all these commercials and music videos because she's a 3D model. So she's like, oh, you need her in her Pepsi ad? She's not real. She'll be there now. I'll send you the 3D model that animates, and you guys can make your own fucking commercial. It's crazy, and she's making a ton
Yeah.
of money. She's like a fake pop star.
Hmm.
She's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of crazy stuff. Something else crazy. Well, not that crazy, but did you see that dial up is going away in September? Did you know it was still around?
I knew it was still around. I know people that recently put in a landline. Do you mean dial-up internet or dial-up
Yeah, internet.
phones? Oh, so
Internet.
56K and 28.8 are gone.
Yes.
I mean, that's
I'm,
understandable.
yeah. Yeah. They broke
Who's
the
listening
story
to
on the
that still
Today
to go
Show.
to
Yeah.
Google? Oh my God, that's funny.
They were like, yeah, the 15 people that still have dial up will be so upset. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I remember opening up Kazaa and being like, "Oh, sick! I'm gonna get like this whole Linkin Park album." And you download it, and it's like it's not like you don't even know for like a day, and then you finally get to listen to it, and it's like this is like has one song and then like a bunch of stuff some guy made.
Crawling in my. You're like, oh, they got me with the fake one that I previewed the intro and thought it was still good. Yeah, dude, I was totally there. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense that that's gonna be gone. But I thought
Dial
that
up.
was an
Oh
interesting
man.
thing.
So many good movies, so many good memories. Like I remember it's 3 days for Austin Powers. So worth it. It's like I'd only download a movie if it could fit on a burn disc. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh shit, that movie's 3 hours. It's not gonna fit on a CD. I won't download it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like by the time you got Blu-rays and you could like fit a lot of stuff on things, it was like it's kind of done. Like I don't think I ever burned a Blu-ray. I stopped at CDs.
Yeah. I never burned a Blu-ray. How come Blu-ray is like a cool word and I think about it positively, but Bluetooth, I'm like, that's a piece of shit and it needs to, like, why? Why is
Because Bluetooth included the E and Blu-ray didn't.
shame on them? They should have learned from Blu-ray.
I don't know. Yeah, Bluetooth is like I don't know. I think because of its promise of being so nice and like auto connecting everything, we expect more from it. And like we don't expect anything from Blu-ray. You just put it in and it should play. I mean, not that I even use Blu-rays anymore because you can download everything, which is another thing. Like buy physical media for when the world blows up, then you can still watch stuff. Like
I got records right here, y'all. I don't know if you can see it. I think I'm a little cropped into a portrait mode, but there's a whole bin of records right there. I've got an Atari right here. So yeah, if the world goes down, I still have some local media.
yeah, we have a bunch of records. We Chuck was here last week and he was like, "How often do you use this record player?" Like we wouldn't use it. And I was like, "Every day, man." Like it's because we have the like well, I guess this wouldn't work in an apocalypse no internet scenario. Or maybe it would because it just goes through the Wi-Fi, I guess. I don't know, but it connects to the Sonos speakers in the house, so you can play a record
Oh,
and then
nice.
play it everywhere, which is nice.
That's really cool. I had never considered. So I have a record player right here. I'm like touching it with my hand. It's that close. My best days of work are whenever I pop this thing open and put a record in. I'm just like, apparently today is going to be a good day because I'm spinning vinyl and then going back to work. I hadn't considered piping it through the house. I have Google Home shit in all the rooms, and so I do speakers that way. That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can I spin that? Can you? I'm gonna look it up. I'll look it up. I'm not gonna ask the crowd, but anyway, it's I don't know if I can push to the Google speaker setup, and you can push to Sonos. That's pretty sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Gotta say, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I had one, like the first one for Sonos. I forget what it was called. I think it was like turntable with all of the vowels taken out. It was like TRNTBL or whatever. And it was trash. It like
There's missing pieces.
Yeah, it like they made a thing and it did work like the first time, but if you ever changed your Wi-Fi like SSID, you couldn't change it on the record player. So you could then never
Yuck.
connect it. They had to like send you a new chip. And they did. And like I never put the new chip in, I don't or maybe I did. I can't remember. I never got it to work again. And luckily Victrola, like good record player company, is just like, hey, here's one that works with Sonos. I was like, dope. All right. That's what I want. Because like, my God, that was awful.
That's awesome. But I mean, also that sounds terrible. I can't believe that you have to replace a chip just to connect it. But I've also heard that about Sonos. Sonos seems to be going downhill. I was at a barbecue, a neighborhood barbecue 2 weeks ago. Two separate people came up to me like, you're in tech. Can you help me with my Sonos speakers? They're not working anymore. And I was like,
Are they
I don't,
old?
I mean, I'm 40, so they're
No,
over
no,
40.
the speaker.
Oh, not the humans, the
Yeah.
speakers. I don't know. It sounded, I didn't even ask. I was like, I don't know shit about that. Do you have any beer though? I'll
Yeah.
clink a beer with you. Like, I'm not going to fix your Sonos, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it does every time I want to use it, because we only use it probably once every week or two, I would say. It's like it needs to update. Like all the Sonos speakers need to update or they don't talk to each other. But then also they aren't supporting the old ones. So like if you have some of the original ones, I think they don't get software updates anymore. So it could be that like if they have original ones, they would just stop working at some point.
That's what it sounded like. Yep.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because then you have a paperweight. Like it has amazing still acoustics inside of it, but you can't plug anything into it. Like
I think that's
that
our
sucks.
future is we have incredible hardware sitting next to us that's just dead now.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. And AI can't help us salvage it. I don't know. Records are cool though because they keep spinning. If you've got a needle, you can stick it on there. It creates the reverberations, and it's great.
Yeah. Records make less sense technologically to me than AI. Like you got a piece of plastic with a bunch of little like
Tiny ass grooves. Yeah.
and it makes that complex of a sound. Like no way, that's fake.
That's awesome. I totally agree. It conceptually makes no sense.
Yeah.
Man, I was a couple weeks ago. So I've been a dad. So I got unemployed. Kids they're out of school. My kids are 7 and 9, and so it was basically like my wife's like, I'm gonna work extra, and I'm like, that's awesome. She's a tattoo artist. I'm like, go tattoo people. That's rad. And I've been on like super dad daycare, but it's fun. Like I'm like a dad that like spins projects up all the time. And one of them that we spun up a couple weeks ago was because I'm giving a talk. Hey, everybody, this is not a pitch for my talk, but I'm giving a talk at Beyond Tellerrand in Berlin. And I'm going to be giving a talk about the crossover of music and CSS. And as part of that study, I had my kids, the record player. And here, I'm going to grab the tool. This is a KO2 by Teenage Engineering. Hopefully y'all know who this company is. I really like this company. Anyway, the KO2, I plugged in the record player into the KO2 to sample my records. So I'm with my kids and I'm like showing them how to sample records. And I'm like, how many kids does their dad show them how to sample records?
Just
And
you
we're
Ken
sampling
Wheeler.
like me and yeah. And we're sampling we sampled an Elvis album and a Final Fantasy album. And it was really cool. You could just like see on their face all the connections being made. Like, oh, the output of that thing is actually, you can capture it. And I'm like, yeah, you can. You can capture it and chop it and then put it to a beat, bro. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's so easy now. It used to be like, and I guess depending on your equipment, still has hoops of like, oh, it's analog to digital to back to analog to back to digital, or like whatever you're doing to like do everything. And yeah, it's a lot easier. You just plug stuff together now.
It's cool. Life is cool if you're looking in the right ways. If you watch too many YouTube videos that make you paranoid about AI, life might not look cool. But if you watch the movie Sinners, life is cool because music is badass. Anyway, have you seen Sinners?
No, I have not.
It's like the best movie I've seen in the past 3 years. It was amazing.
Yeah, I heard people liked it, but I have not seen it. I haven't watched a movie in years, probably.
That's actually kind of fun. TV series are cooler in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I watch a lot of TV because it's like a movie, except it's 10 hours long.
And
Like,
it keeps going. Yeah. You're like,
yeah,
it's here with me whenever I'm bored. There's more. Yeah.
yeah. So something, I forget what I was gonna say now. I had a way to tie this in. Something that like looked cool. It's like, well, you know what doesn't look cool? Cracker Barrel. Did you see that?
Tell me about this. I seen a headline, but I didn't dig. Give it to
Yeah.
me, dude. What's this weirdness?
Basically, you've been to a Cracker Barrel, I assume, at some
I
point.
have.
Okay, so yeah, it's all like dark brown, like ton of shit like hanging from the ceiling, and like cool old school country vibe. Basically, they like painted it all like white and like put in like modern booths and stuff now, and people are like, "This is not the vibe. Like, I do not want to come here anymore."
Would they hire like a AI Pinterest model to like redo their thing and they just went all white?
I don't know. I mean, I think like they were trying to attract people that aren't regular customers by making it like fresher and newer or whatever. But like, I just don't think that Cracker Barrel is going to attract a new audience. Like, just stay in your lane and like cater to the people that always go. Cause like, yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm 100%. Have you been to restaurants where there's peanut shells all over the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're like, hey, give me a bowl of peanuts and I'm going to crack them and throw that shit on the ground. It feels good.
It does.
Love it. That's like showing up to a place that has that and they're like, we've cleaned and it is now white everywhere. And you're like, well, then I'm gone. I was here to throw peanut shells on the ground. I don't know what you thought I was here for, but it was actually to throw shit on the ground.
Yeah. Shout
goodness.
out to Logan's Roadhouse.
Yep. Oh, we got Jimmy Max over here. Anyway, it's funny.
Yeah. All right. We are over time. We didn't get to everything on this list. So we can talk more about other things next time. Yeah. Check out Cascadia JS if you're still hanging out with us.
Totally.
Be a cool
See you there.
conference. Yeah. Anything else we missed that you want to mention?
R.I.P. Chuck. I really hope that you're alive and that you're safe and that you feel the warm hugs and loves of the people that love you. I'm making shit up, but I want you to be great. Now I'm going to stop talking because it's getting weird. Oh, I blame Jim Bean.
We'll catch up with Chuck sometime soon, I'm sure. He's just a little busy right now. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. If you liked it, please subscribe and we'll catch you next time.